I arrived in Ghana with a sense of anticipation. The country, known for its warmth, history, and rich culture, felt like the perfect place to explore the stories of Africans who had crossed borders, seeking a new life, or simply a place to call home. I was drawn to the idea of learning from people who, though from different backgrounds, had found common ground in this vibrant West African country. My first encounter was with a Nigerian man who lived in Ghana, to be specific, Volta region. He is an outstanding man and he has contributed to his neighbors and the society he has integrated with positively. During our conversation, he's described to me how welcoming Ghanaians were to him and how much he has grown ever since he has moved to Ghana. I also learned about a selfless man from Togo that moved to Ghana and risked his life to save his neighbor's house from burning down. I also had a conversation with a Congolese woman living in Ghana, integrated with the society and living in unity and peace. This is the conversation I had with these incredible people and their powerful story. I hope you enjoy it.
You see, the guy that I'm talking to you about, whose parents are from Togo and those countries, he came to this community. Every time you see him, he's helping the people in the town. Guess what? Maybe if you can put the camera over here, you see that this fire that got burnt.
Yeah.
Guess who turned it off? That
Him.
same guy.
Wow.
And this is the 2 times that he has saved us. The first time was there was nobody here at the farm. The house caught on fire.
Okay.
He was coming from the town over there with his friends. They got here and they saw it. They turned the whole light system off. And we didn't get burnt.
Because of a man.
A man from a different country.
From Togo.
From
Yeah.
Togo.
Yeah.
Saved the house. Also, when this one was burning, he wasn't here. He was in his house. He lives over there. He saw the flames.
Yeah.
So he ran.
Wow.
Yeah.
No one had to tell him. He
No
just
one
saw
had
and
to tell
came
you. He ran.
to
And then
help
he came,
you guys.
help us turn it off.
Wow.
My wife had that video with him
Wow.
running here and helping
wow.
us turn it off.
I don't speak French, but I love Burkina. That's one of my second home. But I can go there freely like I want to. And me per se, I'm a northerner from the northern part of Ghana. And this, Burkina and the Moshi people are part of us. We are related. We speak the same language. It's Gune. We speak
Burkina Faso and the people in Ghana.
in Ghana, we speak Gune, and the Gune language extends all the way to Burkina Faso because they speak Moshi, Mole, and the Mole language is similar to the Gune.
Wow.
So we are the same people.
Yeah, you're related with
We
it.
are related.
Yeah.
So why do we do this to ourselves?
Yeah.
We are cousins. I always tell people, I say we are cousins.
Yeah.
We have to move freely because our forefathers were doing it.
Yeah.
They were taking their goods from Bolgatanga to Ouagadougou to sell, and the Moshi people would bring their goods from Ouagadougou to Zwarungu to sell. In fact, my great ancestors migrated from Burkina Faso. They started from Sudan to South Africa, to Zimbabwe, to Burkina Faso, and to this day, I'm in Ghana. Our own land is still there in Ouagadougou. The village is still there. The name was changed when we got to Ghana, but the village is there. So why do we do this to ourselves? Are we not one people? We have to look down. We have to look deep down to this and reclaim our heritage. Otherwise, some people will continue to decide for we black people how to live our lives.
Hi Joshua, welcome.
Hi,
Thank you for having us.
thank you too.
Tell us who you are. Who is Joshua?
I am engineer Joshua Amadi.
Engineer.
Yes, Joshua Amadi. I'm a building technologist by profession, and also a musician, and also I would say I'm an entrepreneur.
Wow.
Yes, and I'm a Nigerian
Yeah.
who came to Ghana about 32 years ago.
That is 32 years ago.
Yes.
So at this point, you're more Ghanaian or
I am Ghanaian. I am Ghanaian. In fact, I don't see myself as Nigerian any longer.
Oh no, Nigerians, you lost a good one. Oh, that's interesting. But I
Yes.
want to go back first to when it started for you.
Okay.
What made you think of moving? Because usually in Africa, we don't do that within Africa. If someone is leaving the country, he's leaving the continent or she's leaving the continent. So for you, first of all, why Ghana? But then again, what was the idea? Why did you move in the first place?
In actual fact, the tribe where I hail from, the Igbos, they are very adventurous. We are very, very adventurous. We always want to explore opportunities. And so naturally, it is in the gene of every Igbo man to try to explore opportunities where possible. And so I think number one, it is in the gene. Now, secondly, is the Igbos in Nigeria once fought for independence. It was then between the Nigerian leader called General Gowon and Ojukwu. Digging into this very issue, the question you're posing before me, because of that war, we saw a kind of racism or segregation
Between
in the governance of Nigeria. Even it's still happening.
Governance.
Yes.
Okay.
And so you see most of the government infrastructure more in the northern parts of Nigeria.
Because they're from there.
Come again?
Because the leaders are from that region. And they
Beautiful.
want to develop that
Beautiful.
specific region.
And then you see a lot in the southern parts, that's Lagos and the other areas. And so it made it that the Igbos would always want to travel to those areas looking for a greener pasture. Do you understand? Or if not within Nigeria, then they will think of going outside Nigeria to look for a more conducive place for their business operation. And so everybody is interested to travel out. And so I had some friends whom I also supported a little when they were living. And then along the line, I tried to trace them. They were living in Togo at the time, or Lomé. And so I tried to meet them at Togo to also explore if I was going to settle there or not.
Okay.
But it got to a time when I got to Togo and I met those friends, their business, the very business they were doing was not that booming.
Okay.
And so at the time I tried to cross over from Lomé to enter Ghana side to know what it looks like. Because I was told that from the main market, the Togo main market, that is Asigame, to the Ghana Togo border is just a stone throw.
Okay.
It's not far.
Okay.
So I decided to try. So I didn't just come. We were selling artificial flowers. I have some of those artificial flowers still in that bag.
Wow. The ones you started with.
Yes,
32 years ago.
32 years ago.
Wow.
30 years ago. Okay. So I was doing some cleaning in my house today, and I came across some of the
That
stuffs.
is incredible. We'll have to see them if they're not far later on.
They're in this bag.
Okay.
So I decided to bring them along because they've been there for years.
Yeah.
And I think it's time I
Throw them away.
reduce the price. No, I'm going to reduce the price and then
you still won't
sell
throw
it.
them.
I'm a businessman.
I
I'm
know.
a typical
I can
businessman.
see.
So in my car boots, I have some of the flower vases, the flower vases that I'm going to put together
Okay.
to set them off. Yeah. So it was that flower that I took from some of my friends. They were selling flowers in Lomé, so
Okay.
I crossed over And I saw immigration officers from the Ghana side showed interest in the flowers, and especially the ladies. You know, ladies
We
love
love
flowers.
yeah.
So I started selling to them, and then after selling to them, I crossed over to the Ghana side.
Yeah.
Whole station to be precise. You know where we are is called Ho.
Okay. Yeah.
And so where I landed was the whole station. And so a lady was in a vehicle, in a bus that was about to come to Ho here. And so this lady showed interest in the flower. After buying, she told me, no, these things are not common here in Ho. So if I should bring it to Ho, a lot of people would be interested in buying. So she told me their market days, they have every 4 days is market day, so I should try and come over. So I said okay. So I went home, I went back to Togo, then took a lot of the flowers, then decided to set off to go here. That was how I found myself in Ho here. And when I came, the flowers got finished that very day.
Wow.
I sold all.
That is an incredible story.
Yes.
So for you, moving from Nigeria, then Togo, then now Ghana, how was your experience? How was it different initially for you as a Nigerian to move across?
Actually, it was very tedious due to the unfriendly manner in which the immigration officers and some of the security agents that were mounted or that were on posts at the borders. It was not easy. They will extort a lot of money from you before they can give you access. But if governments within the West Africa or within Africa can talk to their officers to be very approachable, and also if some of the conditions, I think we'll get there. If the governments can have a kind of consensus or have an agreement on how to reduce or minimize cost of crossing over or doing business across the borders, that would be very very helpful.
Did you hear about the news? Ghana dropping visa requirements for other African countries. It just got announced. So Ghana,
I've not
it's new. It's new information. Ghana announced that the government announced that they're dropping the visa requirements other Africans traveling to Ghana face, and now hopefully won't be as tedious. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a very good thing. It's a step in the right direction. I've once spoken to some of my friends who are at the helm of affairs within Ghana here and also Nigeria to do something about the free movements, how people within Africa can move freely. Because, you know, interestingly, when I moved in here and I started doing my business, especially the flower business, and from the flower business I tried to explore other business ventures like video library. In fact, I was the very first person that started a video library business in Ho here.
Wow, how did you come up with that?
Yes, you know, you buy one CD today or cassette, then it was VHS.
Yeah.
Remember VHS?
Yeah.
So you buy one today, and tomorrow there's a new movie. If you're not economically sound, you cannot afford buying video every day. So I looked at that and I said, well, if I can bring these movies and then rent them out to people, they will pay just a little money. After watching, someone else can also have access to rent and watch, and that will help. And that was how I started that business, and it was a very great idea.
Until maybe internet came.
until the internet came. In fact, I started with the VHS.
Okay.
From there, we had VCR, video cassette recorder, and then later we had compact disc, that's CD.
The CD, yeah.
That came,
Yeah.
and then yes, so that was it.
That is incredible. Like
Yeah.
your brain is made
Now-
for business.
Okay, so I came with a different idea,
Yeah.
and what I was trying to communicate is that
Yeah.
nobody had nurtured that idea within whole here
Okay.
at that time.
Yeah.
So I came as a stranger and I needed that idea.
Yeah.
So other friends came and they were interested to learn how I started it and how they could run that business. I taught a lot of them. There's one guy called Killian.
Uh-huh.
I taught him that business. In fact, I even helped him to design the forms that the customers will have to fill before they can rent out, and how to retrieve some of the CDs should they be rented out. I taught him. From there, other guys came and I taught them, and it was a business that was booming, especially within Ho and its environs around that time.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
So there are so many other talents that other people, you know, through communication and through this how do I even put it, the migration, through migration, there are some talents that are there in Nigeria that may not be here, but when they travel all the way from Nigeria coming down here, other friends around them could learn from them, and then it will be something that can benefit them in their lifetime.
That's true.
Yes.
It's important to share skills and ideas and knowledge. That's how we can grow as a people, and I agree with you on that.
Yes.
But as far as your experience with Ghanaians, how was it when you moved here? Were they helpful? Did you find them to be, your experience? How was it for you?
I just told you that this is my friend's father.
The guy behind the camera.
Yes, the guy behind the camera, Engineer Viglo, to be precise.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Simon Viglo. That's the father. You can see that I'm mentioning the name.
Yeah.
I can mention all the names, but
Yeah.
So he was one of the men I met when I came newly that patronized me, and were ready to assist me in any form that I wanted to be able to settle here and do my business operations. I have another lady by name Mama Atrato. She is the queen mother of Dome. Have you been to Dome?
No, have I? No. No,
Okay.
I haven't.
She's one of our queen mothers here.
Okay, cool.
Very friendly, very welcoming, and so a lot of them. It was a very nice experience to have such people
Yeah.
around me.
Yeah.
They assisted me. In fact, even where I lodged, considering the scanty financial state in which or that surrounded my coming here, I couldn't have afforded certain lodging accommodation, and I had to fall into the hands of some friends, Ghanaian friends that were ready to accommodate me, within some time frame to allow me to gather some money to rent an apartment for myself. So it was very awesome, very friendly young men and women that I met around that time that were ready to offer any help. It was a very good experience.
You know what this tells me? This shows me that even if there are issues that won't allow us to travel or to immigrate the way we want, or to move, like issues as the way you mentioned, immigration, let's say.
Yeah.
But the people actually want to connect. The people are nice. The people want to help one another and to
Of course.
learn with one another and to build each other. So that tells you that we want that. As a people, we want that.
Sure.
It's the hurdles and the unnecessary borders that are there that is creating this issue for us.
Of course, borders that were set by strangers.
Strangers, to say the least.
To say the least.
That's,
But the
that's
borders that
putting
were
it
set,
kindly, strangers.
Yes.
Strangers that came and colonized.
that is it. That's what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
we don't have to consider those borders. In fact, Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery.
Yep.
Because none but ourselves can free our mind. So I totally agree with Bob Marley when he made that statement. So yes, there are borders, but they shouldn't border us. I mean, the border should not bring a barrier on our quest to explore the opportunities that we have within Africa. Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to personally appeal to the government of Africa. I'm talking about the countries within Africa and beyond to consider the conditions of migration.
You're a great example of you bring value. You're not coming here to take away from the people. You're not
Yes.
coming here to snatch anything. You're here to work together, and also if there's anything that you can add, you're adding value to the community that you are moving
Of
in.
course, of
we need
course.
to see movement of Africans within Africa as a positive thing. Unfortunately, we've been programmed to see that white people, when they come here, they add value, but they're not even paying for visa. A lot of them don't even pay. Africans pay a lot of money to move within Africa. That is, if they're allowed. Usually, we get denied, and it's unfair.
God have blessed us with different talents. And so if these talents can meet together, there's something special you can learn from me. You can learn something special from somebody from Kenya. You can learn something special from somebody from Ivory Coast. You can learn something special from somebody from Benin Republic or Togo or even Ghana. Okay, so coming together and connect brings a lot of value on our tables.
You are a representation of your people, and thank you for that, because
Thank you.
we need to know when we leave our country, we're literally the ambassadors of our nation.
Of course.
Unfortunately, even the bad ones, give us bad names, but we have to work extra hard to bring good name to our families and
Sure.
society and in our country. So you're doing a great job from what I can see, and well done.
We thank God for
that.
it.
We thank God.
The secret is
Is God.
godliness.
Isaac, so we were just talking about before I started filming what the Ghanaian government has done in regards to dropping the visa requirements for Africans. So what are your thoughts on that as a Ghanaian man?
Yeah, traveling within Africa, without visas and those kind of things, it's a form of, opening your country for more, better development, because let's say, we are here in the Volta region. If we go this way, 15 minutes this way, we'll cross the border to Togo. Sometimes we can even walk over there. But guess what? You can't do anything in Togo because you didn't go through the border and take a visa and go through there. If you have to buy things from there and come through the same route that I came through, they will tell me that I'm smuggling something in. But it's just like right there, So it makes doing business with the Togolese and Ghanaians, we are right here, it's difficult. So once you buy the thing here, imagine, have to go all the way, drive about maybe an hour, 2 hours to go to a flower, to go and declare it, and come back here again.
Whoa.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
It doesn't make sense. But if the government does something like that, open the borders for us to trade among each other, it brings a lot of income to the people in this community. Because people think that they get the safer prices are reduced, so they can get their things there, come and sell in Ghana. They do business, but now they have to go and declare most of the things. They lose a lot of money.
It's discouraging as well.
And it's discouraging,
Yeah.
And I think people lost money because they went to go and get something from Togo, but once they reached the border, they told them that no, you can't take it in, and they seize everything. And the customs some people will seize everything. You don't get your items, you don't get your money back, nothing. You know. You know, but we are all Africans, like so there's no need to put boundaries, you know, over or like on each other. So somebody who was thinking that maybe in Uganda somewhere that okay, this business I'm doing here, maybe I could have done it in Ghana. You can just pack his things, open a branch here. Then it's a job for people here.
It's a win-win because they'll be employing people.
You'll be employing people.
Yeah.
And then employment bring more money to people's pocket, you know. And now that is what Africans we are lacking. There's no money in the system, and there's no money in the system because there are no jobs in the system, you know. And so everybody's mind is like always thinking like, how am I going to get out of Africa? How am I going to get out of Ghana? Those kind of, that's all is in people's mind. You know? So if this thing happens and Africans invest in other African country, it will help a lot of the Ghanaians, you know, get jobs and those kind of things, because that's what we need. You see, the guy that I'm talking to you about, whose parents are from Togo and those countries, he came to this community. Every time you see him, he's helping the people in the town. Guess what? Maybe if you can put the camera over here, you see that this fire that got burnt. Guess who turned it off? That same guy.
Wow.
And this is the 2 times that he has saved us. The first time was there was nobody here at the farm. The house caught on fire.
Okay.
He was coming from the town over there with his friends. They got here and they saw it. They turned the whole light system off, and we didn't get burned.
Because of a man.
A man from a different country.
From Togo.
Togo.
Yeah.
You see, there are small things that people add to, you know, other people's life, you know. So I mean, after that, I began to think that, because even I've seen our own people, they might just even walk by somebody from a different country
came through and saved your house.
Yes, saved the house. Also, when this one was burning, he wasn't here. He was in his house. He lives over there. He saw the flames. So he ran.
Wow. No one had to tell him. He just saw and came to help you guys.
Help us turn it off. My wife had that video with him running here and helping us turn it off.
So you see, these are the kind of stories we need to tell. We need to tell the positive, the success stories, the stories that will bring us together. Because unfortunately, the enemy wants us to believe that our neighbors are enemy. When that's not true. That is not true. It can't be true. But this experience for you, I'm sure, opened your eyes.
Oh, yes.
And you respect the man, and you see him now as a brother.
Oh, yeah. That's how we see him now. He's always here, you know, we cook with him.
I love
we
that.
all eat together.
My name is Monique Chimanga.
You are originally from?
Congo.
Congo, DRC?
Congo, Kinshasa, yeah.
Okay, so how long have you been in Ghana for?
This month, it's going to be, I mean, we're already in January.
Yeah, 2025.
5 years.
Wow. What your thoughts are about the new visa requirement being dropped by the Ghanaian government for African passport holders, which I thought was incredible. Because before that was announced, I had to apply for visa and I had to fill in so many requirements and documentations and had to pay $110 to get here. So I was very happy for those that will come after me and they get to just come in and get out. So what are your thoughts on Ghanaian government dropping the visa requirements for African passport holders?
It can only be good, you know, like you explained that we face so many challenges to get visas, to move. We're not free, like in the Western world, obviously, like Europe, you have free movement, you know. Africa must have something like that as well. So it's really good for the Ghana government to have brought that that it's visa free, I think, or visa on arrival. I think they call it visa on arrival. So you don't have. I think they also did that just for December till I think 15th of January. There's still there's that in place where as long as you're an African, you can come to Ghana and get your visa at the airport. That is a visa on arrival. So the fact that the government has declared that Ghana is becoming will be a visa free for Africans is a very good thing.
So you said you've been here for 5 years, and why that move for you? Like, if it's not too personal.
For us, the move was actually a need to change the environment we were in. We would live in the UK for many years. Myself and my husband, we were there for many years. So my husband was coming for retirement, but even before that, we were already looking towards Africa.
Why Ghana?
Ghana, we decided on Ghana. We looked at Gambia, we looked at Senegal. We decided on Ghana because Ghana is an English-speaking country, and coming from the UK, the children, the grandchildren, they're all English-speaking. They speak English anyway, so it makes it easier for them, because there was a time when I wanted the children to come and study here in Ghana because of the language. And also later on, when now my husband reached retirement, we said no. We looked everywhere, and Ghana is the only country that has never had civil war. It's very peaceful. So we felt like, yeah. When we came before in 2008, there was this peace. You know, you just felt peace as soon as we stepped off the plane. So that's the reason why we chose Ghana, even though we didn't know anybody here, but we chose to come to settle in Ghana. We wanted to be in Africa. Our wish would have been to go to Congo, but when we decided to come to Africa, Congo was still under the leadership of a leadership that was lasting 18 years, and there was not much freedom. And then because most of our family were out of Congo anyway, so there was nobody really that you could say, okay, let me ask this person either to support me or to watch my project or that kind of thing. So we felt that's how we chose Ghana. We just come to Ghana. Our first choice should have been Congo, but
you couldn't.
Circumstances made it that it was better for us to come here and use Ghana as our base, you know, because we really wanted to be in Africa. We had had enough of Europe. My husband was living in the UK for over 50 years. I lived there for over 40 years. So I think, and the frustration about everything, we just felt like, no, we're coming here. Yeah.
And do you think you made the right decision?
It is, because that's why we're here 5 years after. I can't think of, we do go to the UK, but I think this is a place for us. No regrets. It's nice. Not everything is working as you want it to work, but I'd rather have this than be in the comfort, what they call comfort, but you're not really comfortable. You're in some kind of there's so many restrictions, you know, like, no, here you feel free. You don't have much. The roads are not good. There's no light. There's like for 5 weeks now we don't have water, running water.
Oh, no.
We have to buy water all the time. The light off, but I'd rather be here.
You have that peace, you'd say.
You have that peace,
yeah,
which money cannot buy. You're not running. In the West, everybody's always running. You're always in a hurry, you know.
Yeah, I've also noticed Ghanaians are very chill.
That's right. very calm people.
Yeah,
they just mind their business. You know, they're very calm people. Yeah, they're good people. They're welcoming, warm people. Yeah,
I've experienced that too. They're like very helpful.
Yeah,
very kind.
Yes,
smiling. It's just such a wonderful, when you're new to a country.
Yes,
that's like the best thing.
Oh, they make you feel very welcome.
Yeah,
when you're new. Yes, they do make you feel welcome.
Yeah, maybe that's why a lot of people are picking Ghana over maybe other African countries. Would you say also Ghana is more accommodating in regards to foreigners coming and settling in?
Yes. Obviously, from the year of return, which was who started 2019. Sorry, the year of return was 2019. You saw a lot of people coming, influx of people coming from, because they felt welcome, because the president said, come, you know, come to the motherland, you're welcome. So it opened that door for people to just travel,
Yeah.
travel. And some people travel, they come and they go back, they sell everything, they come back and settle.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah. You actually find yourself in Africa. You
Wow.
find yourself, yeah.
And I love that. So, in your opinion, and this is your opinion, of course, how do you think we can get there to the point where, like, just like you and your husband, you saw Ghana, you loved Ghana, and you're like, we're gonna move there. How do other Africans get that opportunity? For example, for me as an Ethiopian, to get up and say, I want to go and settle in Senegal, or not even that far. I want to go and support the tourism. I want to see this and that. There's so many hurdles. How do you think we'll get there to be able to travel freely in Africa?
It's good. I don't think there's a clear solution to. I mean, we know the solution, but it's difficult to
Changing
get
the
to
laws.
that. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's difficult to get to that point where
Yeah.
you say, okay, now everybody can move, because we need to be united. The countries have got to be united. The president, everybody has got to come together at the table, just like Europe did. You know, they came to the table. They say, we are dividing this, we are buying this, we are separate. You take this, you take this part. So Africans, we have to come together and say, okay, this is what we want for our people, for them to be able to move, to do business, to go anywhere they want to go, because it's a free land. Who set up borders?
Them.
You know, God gave us the world. It's a free world. We're supposed to move freely. You know, so as Africans, we need that unity. We need that understanding that we must speak with one voice, come together. You know, not everything is a hurdle. Everything is a hurdle. Applying for a visa is a hurdle. Doing this, everything is a hurdle. But we're all Africans.
Yeah.
We should be free. You know, if I want to set up a business here, I can come and then I just set up a business.
Yeah.
You want to come to my country to set up a business, you do come.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
To come together
Yeah.
and put our head together and come to a decision
And we're
that this is what we do
Yeah.
for the younger generation,
Yeah.
so that they don't feel that there's a barrier,
Yeah.
because obviously a lot of people they have the challenges of having the money, you know, to first of all you pay for the visa, you don't know whether you're going to get the visa, you have to buy a ticket, which to come to Africa the ticket is always so much more expensive.
Yeah.
What can't we be like Europe? If you want to go to Belgium, you can buy a ticket for about $20.
Let me tell you
You know?
something as an example. Ethiopia and Kenya are neighboring countries, right? From my experience, neighboring as in 2 hours flight. I pay the same amount as when you go to the US.
Yes, right.
How does that make
That's
sense?
it.
A 13-hour flight
That's what
and
I'm
a
saying.
2-hour
That's what I'm
flight.
saying.
Is it
It's
like I
crazy.
just think about it and I'm like, how
Yeah.
does that make sense? You're not fueling the plane that much. Like
Yeah.
it's
And
literally
it's
from
shorter
point,
even.
it's a drive,
Yeah,
like a day
yeah.
drive, and you're charging us that much. Are you trying to discourage us?
That's what it
discourage
is.
us from traveling? Yeah, but we're seeing trying to go back to the positive, we're seeing like Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger coming together with their alliance and saying, let's, like, we're neighboring countries, telecom cost, even roaming cost, they're removing the roaming cost. So it can be done.
Of course.
It can be done, but our leaders have to move. But at the same time, even us, I think we have to push them in a way we can individually take on that responsibility to, like, for me, it's through this that I can be like, hey, let's change this. This is not fair. For someone else, it can be using their influence or, you know, in government. It takes one person to change things,
That's right.
for the better. And I hope that they do that. Who am I speaking to?
I'm Delphina.
Delphina. You are from?
I'm a Nigerian living in Ghana.
How long has it been?
I can't really come up with a specific, period of time I've been in Ghana, because I schooled here, and after school I went back to Nigeria. Then I spent 6 years in Nigeria, then returned back 3 years ago.
So basically, you're used to the culture here in Ghana and you know a lot because you were in school here.
Yes, I schooled here, but the funniest thing is that during my school days, I wasn't really associating myself with the Ghanaians. I faced what brought me here, that school, because I don't want to be distracted. So that was the mindset I took with me during that period of time though. So, and that time is really affecting me right now, because I was like, okay, why didn't you learn the culture? Because I never knew that I was going to return back to Ghana again. And look at me here back in Ghana after 6 years of being in Nigeria. Because what I was having in mind is that after school, everybody is wishing for greener pasture. I want to go to the US to go like further, go for my master's, stuff like that. But it didn't happen the way I planned. As you're planning yours, God is also planning His own. So I found myself back in Ghana after 6 years. So the culture, when I returned back 6 years, I mean 3 years ago, that was how come I started learning the culture afresh. You know, when you want to learn about something, you have to put in your all. So your mind have to be in before it will come naturally. But if your mind is not in it, it will not come. You will never learn. So the little I've learned now, I really appreciate. But I gave myself the chance to learn from the day one. I would have been better now. Maybe I would have known how to speak tree or so. But I'm regretting, seriously. I knew I would have learned back then.
It's a good point, actually, you brought. I've never looked at it that way, especially as a young kid. I don't know how old you were.
I was 16 years.
Okay, so you were a teenager. So you were not comprehending. You were not thinking that it's important to maybe learn the culture, to blend in, to be part of the people. But now, in hindsight, now that you're much older, you're thinking I should have blended in. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because I'm starting to have the idea that we are one Africa. Then I don't know, I was naive and I wasn't taught about. So as you're growing, you get to know about things day by day. That say we learn every day. Change is constant. So I believe it's change that came into me and made me become this way. When you said something about free movement, what came to my mind is what Ghana has given, like free visa free to all African countries.
It's gonna come to that.
My mind. That's what came to my mind when you said free movement. So I feel other African countries should take example, like they should look through what Ghana. I don't know what is in Ghana, because everyone is talking about Ghana. Everyone is talking about. So when I feel so very like I'm opportune to be in Ghana even before people have started talking about Ghana. So it's not be like, okay, it was when people are talking about it, then I came. But I was in Ghana. So I'm very proud, you see. So movement, it should be free because we are all Africans. If you go to Europe now, they move around there. I don't know how it is though, but I think they move around. They have this European Union and all. So they move around their states, their countries, continents. Let me make it that way. Yes, but in Africa, you will see if you are going to Kenya, you need a visa. If you are going to South Africa, you can imagine, but it's African country, you need a visa. So it's a very good thing that Ghana have given all African country, you know, um,
They dropped the visa requirement.
the visa. Yeah, they dropped the visa.
I was actually going to ask you about that before you mentioned it, what your thoughts are. So basically, you think that's a great example.
Yes, it's a great example that African countries should learn from this. Yeah, if every African countries have the same mindset as Ghana, then Africa is going to unite back again.
I agree. I agree. When you make it easier for the people to move around, to travel, to back and forth, it opens up opportunities. It opens up connections. It opens up a lot for the people that are living within the continent of Africa. And I believe when our governments start realizing that we're losing out on opportunities because we're closing off our countries to our neighboring countries. There's so much. There was a person I interviewed just recently, and he was saying how much of like other neighboring countries can come and see opportunities and open up stores, and they now hire employees contributing to the economy of the country that they've moved in. It's not just about these immigrants and they're moving here. No, everyone has value to add, and we should be allowed to.
Yes, I feel it's a great thing because for a person to take a bold step, I'm coming to Ghana. That means the person is coming with something huge. You know, the person is will not be a broke person. I remember when I came to Ghana, I will not come an empty hands. So if I'm leaving Nigeria to Ghana, I'm coming with money. And the money is going to be spent here in Ghana. So it's going to make better their economy. But the thing is that if you are a bad person, please don't come to Ghana.
Yeah, and
You
when
are a bad person or you have a very bad mindset, you are coming to do anything negative here because no, 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 please don't come. We love our peaceful nature of Ghana. That's
no,
just it.
I agree. And when we say free movement, we don't mean all the criminals can move from one place to another. There always needs to be screening. We're not saying governments are not allowed to see who's coming in and who's coming out. They're not seeing if you have police records or not. It should always be that way because we need to protect our people as well. I completely understand and I agree that needs to be done. We're not saying there shouldn't be rules and regulations or protections for the people of that country. And so the reason why people use this, those that don't want us to unite, that don't want us to be borderless, they always bring up, oh, but you should be scared. There are there are people that with bad intention. How do you, in Europe, as you gave the example, they move around. How are you doing it? There's screening, there's a way, like there's documentation as you're going in and you're going out.
And there's
The same
always-
thing you're doing is what we're saying let's do.
Yes, and there's always a starting point. If they told us, like, if they are being opportune to share their experience of how they started theirs, I know there was a challenge, around it. So the best thing is um, how to start. So when you start, you have solutions on how to tackle problems because there's nothing that don't have a problem. When you're starting up something, problems must occur, and when it occurs, the thing what you should think about is how to tackle it. So challenges will come, but what I would tell Ghanaians and Ghana is for them to is to be open to be ready to tackle those challenges instead of swiping it out. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this goes for all of Africa.
Yes, all of
African countries that are willing to accommodate others and to be open and allow their brothers and sisters from their neighboring countries to come in and out to trade, to support their tourism. You should always know that there's a positive and there's a negative. You have to prepare for it. If and when it happens, as you said, you also go about fixing it, making it better, refining it. So it's with everything. Everything is like that. But yeah, so in your time here, how did Ghanaians treat you, welcome you to their country?
Yes, naturally, Ghanaians are good people. There's no one that would open his mouth and say Ghanaians are not good people. They welcome me well in Ghana. There's this peace that everybody talked about it, that there's this peace they get when they come to Ghana. I also felt that peace when I came to Ghana because I had some challenges back but yeah, back then at home. But when I came to Ghana, Ghana has blessed me in so many ways. Ghana made me stronger because I was this kind of soft person. I didn't even know that I would sit down in front of camera like this and talk. That was when I came to Ghana newly. I never knew, but Ghana made me a buzz because when I came to Ghana, I was ready to work for someone. But me coming to Ghana has made me realize that I should be the boss of my own. And I pick up, I started, and look at where I am right now. I give God the glory, seriously. I can't lie. Ghana is a great place that if you are looking for, I always advise people, even in my channel, that they should take that bold step to come to Ghana. They should not think twice. And again, if they're looking for an African country that they want to come experience the African culture, Ghana should be their number one place they should come. And I'm saying that because I've never experienced any other African country but Ghana, which I did. That's why I'm inviting them there. Maybe if I go to Kenya today, I would have a lot to say about Kenya. If I go to any other African country, I will have a lot to say about those countries. But for now, Ghana. Come to Ghana.
Perfect. And this tells me, or this teaches us, it opens our eyes for why you feel this way is because Ghanaians were nice to you, because the government allowed you, because you're here and you are thriving and you are able to contribute. This is a great example. This can happen. What we're saying is we want this to happen in East Africa, in West Africa, in South Africa, in North Africa. Allow us to move around, allow us to contribute and to build each other up. Why do you think the Western world takes our young and talented and brilliant minds? Brain drain exists for a reason. You are benefiting from that movement. Unfortunately, as Africans, we don't see it that way. And that needs to change. We need to do it. So we say free movement in Africa.
Yes, free movement in Africa.
And yeah, that's it. Free movement in Africa.
Yes, free movement. We're all for that. Yes.
Amen to that. Free movement
And we
in
pray for free
Africa.
movement too.
Yeah.
It will come.
Amen.
It will come.
Yeah.